Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Ogden City Mayor Ben Nadolski, and welcome to the Ogden Way podcast, the place where we talk about Ogden's people, and in so doing, we talk about Ogden, the stories of Ogden, through the lens of Ogden's people. And today we are with Troy Callantine, Executive Director of the Goal Foundation. Troy, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So the Goal Foundation, this is a nonprofit. Tell us a little bit about the Goal Foundation, and
Sure.
then we'll talk about a number of things.
Yeah, in summary, our mission is to get out and live through inspiring the greater Ogden community to participate, spectate, or volunteer in outdoor sports in our region. So,
Yep, and that's the same mission that we had when I was on the board of directors.
Yep.
I was on the executive committee for a lot of years, and the Goal Foundation is actually really responsible for introducing me to Ogden. Like after my wife and I graduated from college, we got involved volunteering with the Goal Foundation, and that genuinely changed our lives.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear a lot of same stories of people meeting other people through our network and the things that we do, and kind of where it may lead them down a different path or put them into a new space that they hadn't been before, where they meet a whole new community of people to engage with and hang out with and do the things we do.
So what you just explained is one of the oft overlooked pillars of the Ogden Way.
Sure.
So if we've got 7 pillars, and those 7 pillars represent every element of human opportunity and success.
Yeah.
Meaningful social connections. If you really want to be a place where people can thrive, we have to be a place and have an environment where people have the opportunity to connect with each other, spend time together, build things together, right?
Yep.
And for me, when I was with the Goal Foundation volunteering, it was hard. That was a hard volunteer gig.
Yeah.
Especially back then when the organization was still kind of new. But we worked hard, we worked late, and when you do hard things together, you build stronger bonds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that legacy of what you guys put together there still lives within our culture, and the playbook per se of what we do day in, day out with Goal. It's really evident the effort that the original crew of Goal and the base of this mission or this vision of what we could be, it still lives on in a really amazing way. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I was the original crew.
Sure.
I was like on their coattails.
Yeah.
And it was still hard. I can't admit.
Original's relative, I think. There was a span, I'm sure, where it took time to build and morph and evolve and become, where are we really going to go and what can we really do in the community. So
right. And the whole thing was really built on the legacy of around the Olympics, right?
100%.
That's kind of how it started, got its seed, and started to light a little bit of a flame here locally.
Yeah, it became kind of evident at the time with the Olympics, and the number of volunteers and the collaboration and that community building that came together, and how naturally the community came together to support the event and support everything that was happening. And so during that phase, it's my understanding it became really evident that this is an opportunity we can't let just pass us by. Let's harness this culture and harness this excitement of volunteerism, not because of what the volunteerism can do to support an event or whatever else, but how it can impact the community and how it can build relationships and how it can give people a space to show up and have something meaningful to provide to that community that day or
right.
that week or whatever the time frame is.
Yeah, and when we looked back, that really was, this is our legacy.
Yeah.
This is our legacy organization, but that spirit of volunteerism and really what it has helped us build is our legacy from the Olympics in 2002.
Yeah.
We took that volunteerism, that spirit and drive, willingness to pick up a shovel and do the pick and shovel work, right?
Yep.
And parlayed that to a world famous marathon.
100%. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. We have people from 47, 48 states come to our marathon, 11 countries this year, and they come because of the things that the volunteer groups bring to the table. Makes that participant experience just top notch. We're running a Boston Marathon style marathon at the Ogden level, right? Like we really go above and beyond to make the experience amazing for everybody. So everything from loading the buses to the water stations and throughout, it's close to 1,000 volunteers for the day, and that's why people leave and give us such a high satisfaction score in our surveys for the marathon because of all that contribution from the volunteers.
Right. It's a Boston style race, but it's also a Boston qualifying race.
It is.
Right.
Yep.
And so it is Boston quality.
Yep.
It's actually, I've never run the Boston Marathon, but I do know from experience, having loaded the buses, having for a long time I was overseeing aid stations, etc.
Sure.
What I do hear from runners constantly is that they feel different when they're here because of it's not a corporate race, it's a community race.
Yep.
And the spirit of the volunteer is really what they feel, right, when they are around us.
Yep.
And I think that and the beauty of the course
Yep.
are what set us apart.
Yeah, we're blessed for sure, both geographically with the course itself, and then again culturally and community wide, just having that energy there and everything that matches. It's a pretty magical morning, and a whole day really, right? It all happens even starting earlier in the week with. Stuffing packets and the expo day with packet pickup and everything. The energy kind of builds until 7 a.m. The race starts and it's just flowing and the energy really just it's through all the community and everybody that's there and around. It's pretty amazing.
So that's kind of the day of or the few days leading up to about
Sure.
What does it take to put on an event like that year round, right?
A lot, yeah. We work with Ogden City and all of your departments really intricately, and really we start the Monday or Tuesday after the race is over, and we just start back up and get going to keep planning. If you wait too long, there's a lot of little parts and pieces that are easy to lose track of or that sneak up on you. So we have a team of 6 at Cole Foundation that are full-time staff, but even throughout the rest of the year, we have lead volunteers and other community folks that come and help. Our board it's a nonprofit, Cole Foundation is, and so we have voting members of a total of 13 and then some ex officios as well, and they work really year round on the marathon to make sure that it happens smoothly and to the best that we can do it. So
it's a big lift.
It is, yeah.
But it's amazing what you can accomplish with 6 people.
Sure.
But you're not doing it with 6 people, you're doing it with countless volunteers and partners, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the partners are amazing, and our staff is just incredible. And again, the board of directors that we have and the folks that lean into the things we do, they lean into it with the utmost passion and huge level of skill set. It's pretty cool to see everybody that's come to the table to keep the machine moving.
Is there still a real strong working element to being on the board there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody's assigned to committees, like a committee or committees multiple, and we're kind of in this really taking on the constant improvement CI kind of movement. So we're using those committees within the board to just continue to make things a little better, a little more efficient, a little more targeted in our strategy for moving forward, especially with the 2034 games coming and other big events that are, targeting Utah to come to our area, et cetera. How can we assist? How can we leverage that amazing volunteer base without burning people out as well and creating really like the best opportunities for people to engage in that level. So,
well, there's a lot to be said for what it takes to organize that many volunteers.
Sure.
Especially for, an event like the Olympics.
Yeah.
We can't get it wrong.
Yep.
Right. We got to get it right. And so it's great having a partner that's got all of the access to the volunteers and the database of names and everything. Yep. But also the expertise on how to manage them for the kinds of events that are coming too. Because the marathon's not the only event that Go Foundation does, right?
No, we're constantly doing things. Everything from, our signature events are, of course, the marathon. We have a winter running series. It's a preparation series for the marathon, 4 parts, 5K, 10K, 10-miler, and a half marathon that start in February. We partner with Trails Foundation in Northern Utah and Weber County Parks and Recs for the Northern Utah Trail Fest, also known as the Nut. That happens in October. And in addition to all that, though, we run programming for kids. So we have hiking camps for kids, mountain biking camps for kids, rock climbing camps for kids. We have community hikes and community yoga that we do. We have scholarship programs for each of those so that we can help folks that may not otherwise be able to afford the registration get involved and get out and live and participate in these activities. And that takes all those partners and the community to lean in to help us with that. So we're using all those assets and resources throughout the year to keep those things happen. So it's really cool to see that the trickle effect of an event like the marathon and how it helps us throughout the entire year really meet our mission of getting people out and living through participating, spectating, or volunteering in these activities.
Right. So getting back to the 7 pillars of the Ogden Way, I talked about my engagement and what it meant to me to have the meaningful social engagement with each other. I built a lot of lifetime, long-lasting friendships, and I fell in love with Ogden like head over heels through service. And that's the experience that it really is at the base and the root of the Ogden Way, about having values around service and collaboration and innovation and continual growth and improvement, CI as you call, right?
Yep.
Because I think that we're a better city when we do the work together, right?
Definitely.
And I just find there's a spirit in the city of people that just want to do hard things.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Yeah, for sure.
It's really fulfilling to be a part of it.
Yep.
And
definitely.
But also, you mentioned the Northern Utah Training Series.
Yeah, Trail Fest.
Well, the Trail Fest, but also the
Winter Running
the
Series.
Winter Running Series.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a series of races to prepare you for
the marathon.
For the marathon, and that's such a good. I mean, that's about a half-year period of just training and preparing for the race, right?
Yep, correct.
And that's such a great tool for a lot of people. There's a lot of people participate.
Sure.
I mean, I see you guys running through my neighborhood, and I participated in it before myself.
Yeah, sorry about that, clogging up the street.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, and it's great. In addition to the training the people, though, it does, training our participants and folks who want to run that extra distance, there's also this amazing cultural vibe. So it's the Winter Running Series. We do get some folks from Salt Lake City, but it's a pretty localized race because of the travel and everything else. But what's really cool is we have the Ogden Marathon training program, and so we have training runs, meetup runs that happen through some ambassador-led things and just other folks that are saying, hey, I'm going for a run, who wants to join me? And so you see these natural cultural connections that just kind of spark up on their own in a way. And, sometimes it might be a group of 4 or 5 that go for a run. Sometimes it's 20 or 30. But you see all that magic come together at the Winter Running Series, and it builds and evolves and becomes a much bigger, more amazing result all the way up to the day of the marathon. And the day of the marathon, again, it's evident to see, the camaraderie, right, and this culture that got built through some of those events, and that stuff happening. And it's the participants, but it's also friends and family that have said, hey, I'm going to come volunteer and support that day and that event to help make it a success. And, of course, Ben's running, and so I want to make sure I'm there for him and his friends, et cetera. And so it's really cool that you see that build up and again accumulate over that series and sort of becomes the pinnacle at the day of the marathon.
Right. See, my friends know that if they're not there to help me, they know I'm not going to make it. They're like, he needs help.
Ben, I'm there for you. So,
but that's such a great story because you build those connections by, again, doing hard things, but you're building a habit, a lifelong habit of healthy and active lifestyles, which is another pillar, right? And I think we often overlook the value and how much that means to our lives in terms of building a life of thriving, right? These are the penultimate things that people can do to really live their best lives here in Ogden.
Definitely.
And we're lucky to have partners like the Gold Foundation to help make it happen.
Well, thanks. And, thanks to the community for having the foresight to create Goal and take that spirit of volunteerism that was evident during the Olympics and embrace that and say, let's make this something that can be, a staple in the community to help support all these other things. And again, not just the events, but that the community that comes from doing what we do.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I know. This is what makes Ogden special, actually. We got a lot of Goal Foundation scale partners and collaborators out there that just do this kind of work, and it really makes us who we are.
Yeah, as I started this role in 2023, October of 23, I really became aware quickly as I met folks I already knew, talking to people I already knew, but also meeting new people that have been engaged with Goal and how tight the circle is and how interweaved all the things that we do are with, whether it be the municipality of Ogden City or the county, but also all of our nonprofits in the community that also do amazing work, just in different little sectors. We all tend to, show up at the same or similar spaces and help each other in, different ways that really wouldn't be available had those resources and that community connection spirit be available and around. It's really cool to see. When somebody needs something, usually somebody will raise their hand. Hey, we've got that asset, or we can help you with some volunteers, or we can help you with marketing this or that kind of stuff. And so, it's pretty mind blowing walking around Ogden City and seeing how much impact. Goal Foundation, the legacy of the Olympics and Goal becoming what it is today, and how many people have been involved and engaged, and how it's maybe steered them one way or another. So
yeah, well, we're lucky to have had a lot of good leaders in our past too. We stand on a lot of shoulders.
Definitely.
You and I do in this legacy, and But I'm really glad and I'm really thankful that we've lived this legacy for so many years, because we're now on the precipice of another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
9 years out might sound like a long ways, but it's
So close.
It's so close. And you and I serve on a local organizing group
Mm-hmm.
that's beginning to have those discussions and planning for the Olympics and how it's going to affect Ogden and Weber County.
Yeah.
What role we're going to play and participate in it. But when you start to think about what we need to be doing in 9 years, it feels short, right?
Yeah.
But the significance of the legacy piece, that can't be understated, and it's because of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of volunteer hours every year.
Yeah.
A spirit of service that drives our city.
Yeah.
Right? These anchor events that drive our economy, bring visitors and tourism.
Yeah.
These are huge impacts, and reflecting back, we were not nearly as prepared as we're going to be for the next one.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah. We feel like there's good momentum right now, right? That the committee we're on, for instance, there's a lot of theoretical, like where could we go? What are the things we can do? Casting a lot of, throwing some spaghetti at the wall to see what really sticks, what really makes sense, what really works. And the timing feels right, where we've got time to really zone in on the pieces and parts that are going to be the best for Ogden City and for the Olympics together to make it really a true big success. So it's really exciting,
right,
to come together.
So a lot of people are talking about the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about it locally, a lot of people seem to focus on the fact that we're not going to have curling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But that isn't completely decided. I mean, it's kind of temporarily decided right now, but we're also doing a lot of things that I think poise us or position us to host curling and when the Olympics come. And so we'll be hosting the very first for the state of Utah Olympic test event.
Yeah.
By hosting the World Curling Championships, right?
Yep, it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that up at Weber State at the ice sheet.
Mm-hmm.
With the help and support of Weber County, Weber State, Ogden City, Goal Foundation, Visit Ogden, right?
Yep.
And that's going to be a really great event that is going to be a foreshadowing of what we're capable of doing as a community.
Mm-hmm.
And I look forward to seeing people come from all over the world to participate and start to feel that energy that our volunteers have and our community has.
Right.
I think that's something that can't really be manufactured somewhere else.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
So what will be the Goal Foundation's role in that event?
So that event for World Curling, we're going to help coordinate, deploy, and place volunteers for the World Curling event. Really exciting opportunity. I'm new to curling. I've seen it on TV and everything else, so I'm still learning quite a bit about it. We've got some meetings next week on site to do some site evaluation things and pin some things down. But yeah, our mission will be to help recruit, sort of sort and place people in positions and in stations that make sense for their skill set and availability and everything else. So we'll work directly with Visit Ogden and the organizing committee for that event to make sure that there's enough people in place that they have the resources to have a good volunteer experience, and of most importance is to provide the venue and the organizing committee with what they need to have a successful event and have it be seamless, so that they just felt like it was better than any of the other ones they've ever done. So
that's the goal, right?
That's the goal.
To be the best.
That would be the best.
So when the Olympic organizing staff came to Ogden, they're doing like a community tour, right?
Yeah. And
they started in Ogden because they felt like we were kind of already ready for that kind of a meeting, and they were really impressed that we are as prepared and forward thinking as we are.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like we're further ahead than a lot of communities are in our thinking.
Yeah. Right.
So what are we looking forward to in terms of the Olympics doing for us? Right.
Yeah. Before, during, or after, or all the above?
All the above.
Well, before, we've clearly got a lot of work to do, even though we're quite prepared. I think we still have a lot of work to do in getting those test events truly scheduled and staged and sorting out who needs to be where. There's probably going to be somewhere between 1,500 to 2,500 volunteers needed each day for the alpine events that will occur at Snow Basin. So it's a large amount of people to logistically shuttle, place, feed, transport around the mountain, but also get the skill sets on the slope that we need to have in place for it. So all the safety netting that needs to go in, all the parts and pieces that need to be put together. So we've got a little bit of work of just sorting out the map of exactly what do we need for there. There's a lot of great minds in play on that already that understand how to run a quality World Cup level, Olympic level ski race, and so that'll be great. And we have a huge level of talent locally that are very proficient in the alpine ski race world as well. So I don't know that it'll be easy to recruit. It'll be exciting to recruit for those spots, right? We'll have a lot of lead positions, though. They'll need credentials and training all the way up at the FIS level to be able to put into certain spots and beyond the course and inside the venue. So there's some of that stuff happening. That's the preparation side. I think we'll start seeing races in the 2030, 2031 range. Sort of, I think, depends on the final negotiations, probably with the resort and the World Cup circuit itself. And then we'll be running those high-level races as test events, one for the course, but also for the system, for the volunteer system, for the community as well. Like, can we house them? Where are we putting all these people? So there's all those pieces that, between Ogden City and Visit Ogden, everybody, they're putting that together to, to ensure that if we're going to bring, all these volunteers from within our community and outside of the greater Ogden area as well to here to go up and volunteer and help, as well as all the spectators that need to go to and from and all that. Yep. So there's quite a bit of work to be done, but it'll be exciting to map all that out. And then during the games, I hope that we get to see a lot more downtown action this time around. I hope that we get to see, some art and music engagement and different more directly sport-related, maybe medal ceremonies and that kind of stuff downtown in Ogden would be amazing for us to see have happen. I'd like to see the folks that, come to the games, come into Ogden and stick around for a bit. Salt Lake's amazing, so no diss against Salt Lake, but we have a lot of amazing stuff here. We've got great food, food opportunities. We've got great lodging. We have amazing access to recreation, and so it would be really cool if we can craft an environment and logistical opportunities that people can come and stay and really enjoy Ogden for an extended period of time. And then I think that repeat client and traveler per se I think they'll fall in love with Ogden as well and be coming back for future visits for sure.
How can they not, right?
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it puts us on the world stage, puts us on TV in the world stage.
Yeah.
The Snow Basin is a significant part of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the events that are going to be held there and how significant that is for the whole?
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased because I come from a ski racing background a little bit. I grew up ski racing for the Snow Basin ski team. I served for years on the Snow Basin board, as well as worked at Snow Basin during the Olympics on the race department there through Tim LaMarche, or Swampy was his name. So from 99 through 2002, I worked there right on the front lines of the Olympics. So I'm biased because I think those are the coolest, funnest events during the Olympics. But we'll be hosting the downhill, both women's and men's, Super G, giant slalom and slalom. And then if it still exists as an event, will be what's called Super Combined. They run a downhill event in the morning and then a slalom in the afternoon, combine that time, and that's the result. So that's huge. Last time during the 2002 Olympics, we ran the downhill and Super G only, just the speed events, and then Park City ran the others. We're going to have them all right there at Snow Basin. So it's a huge lift to be able to run all those, the different courses, the different athletes that are going to be coming to them, the starts, the finishes, all those things. It's going to be a lot to put into one space. But Snow Basin's uniquely, I guess you could say, qualified or designed or just naturally sits in this space the way the courses come together to be able to make that happen. It's going to be really cool. We'll see some improvements on the hill with where the GS and the slalom are going to go that I think will be a long-lasting space that'll be a great improvement to the mountain for a lot of reasons. And so those are, again, in my opinion, some of the most exciting events in the Olympics is the ski racing.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any talk about the freestyle as well?
Not at Snow Basin. Yeah, that'll all happen at Deer Valley.
Okay.
So, they'll be hosting all the freestyle stuff. And then in addition to the Olympics, we'll have the Paralympics at Snow Basin. So the week after, I think it's the week or 10 days or something after the Olympics, we'll have the Paralympics there, which no diss against the Olympics as well. But when I was on staff at the 2002 Olympics, the most exciting races were the Paralympics. It was just absolutely incredible. Truly inspiring to see everybody come together for that event as well, and they're rocking basically the same course, slightly different gate turns and things, but the jumps and the speeds and everything else were the same, and just a wild race. It was cool to watch
Yeah.
that, and it'll be exciting to see that come back.
Well, that's a significant point. One that we've talked about on the organizing committee is when the Paralympics come, Snow Basin's already playing a significant role in the Olympics, but it plays an even bigger role for the Olympics because that's where all the mountain events will be.
Yep.
The only mountain events will be at Snow Basin, right?
Yep, the biggest alpine ones. Yep.
Yeah. So our Olympic experience as the home city of Snow Basin is going to be twice as big and significant than others, right?
Absolutely.
So that's something that we're looking at really closely for our legacy too, and making sure that we're not just thinking about the Olympics, but we're thinking about that, and it's kind of turning into, we're thinking a lot more about that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that we're a community that's doing that, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So that's all of the planning for the events. Not all of it, that's some of it, right?
High level.
Yeah,
50,
high level
foot view kind of idea, but yeah.
I've found myself thinking about, because as the mayor, you're the CEO of the city.
Yeah.
And I found myself as you were talking going, man, I'm so glad that we're not leading all of that. Right?
Yeah, and there's so many parts and influencers and decision makers and that make all that happen. So I'm I'm on that committee with you as well as one directly with the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation, and the roadmap is really, it's loosely drafted and it's really going to be tightening up over the next while. So it'll be cool to see, what each community partner and everybody will do exactly as it all comes together. But it's pretty well planned out so far. So
with you and others taking on that event piece, we're really focused on transportation. We're focused on infrastructure, planning for our downtown, et cetera. And we've got a lot of funding set for the 24th Street interchange.
Cool.
So we've been working with the state and the state legislature with the help of Speaker Schultz and President Adams and our local legislators to make sure that we've got it's a couple $100 million ready to go to make 24th Street a full interchange. And the idea with that being we can bring people that are coming to the Olympics into and out of our downtown directly.
Right.
And that they don't just go around us.
Sure.
But also that's something that we need anyway.
Yeah.
And so the notion that we've been talking about is we're not building anything for the Olympics. The Olympics is building everything for us.
Right.
Right? Because those are huge tranches of money.
Sure.
Big moves politically to get to be implemented and executed locally that we kind of need to be bound by something as significant as the Olympics.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's the catalyst for it. Yeah.
Right. But it's much bigger than just the 24th Street interchange. What about the viaduct that comes over? That's expensive.
Yeah.
But really the state's biggest goal is to double track Front Runner.
Okay.
And when that happens, it's going to cut down the time commuting from Salt Lake to Ogden by probably somewhere around half, right?
Yeah.
But rather than just doing what we've always done, our goal and our timeline for the Olympics is to return the boarding and deboarding of the Front Runner and hopefully passenger train at some point as well at the grand lobby of the Union Station again.
Cool.
So the way that we used to welcome the world and the way that we became who we are on the way 25th Street developed out, welcoming the world through the doors of the grand lobby.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we wish to do and our set and our goal to do.
It was really cool going to the time capsule release and everything and learning a little bit more about the history and seeing those pictures of everything inside that space and what an amazing building. And it'd be cool to see that come back together. And
right. But I think that connection point is really important. That would really bring a lot of life and vibrancy to the building again. But we're also planning for a museum for all of our artifacts and history.
Sure.
Making sure we do a historical restoration for the entire museum and Union Station, because that is the single most important historic asset we have.
That's cool.
Union Station, right? And so those are big moves, and maybe while I'm saying it, you're thinking, man, I'm glad we're not responsible for that. Right?
Yeah, I'll let you handle that, and I'll ride the train when it's done. It'll be perfect.
There you go.
So,
but it goes to show the need for the
for
the coordination and to have partners that are really well heeled in doing different things, right?
Yeah. Well, it makes sense to tie the Olympics into that. For instance, in 2002, it was easy for folks to come into the international airport of Salt Lake City, stay in Salt Lake City, come up, go up over Trappers to Snow Basin, and just go right back home. And Ogden sat right there on the cusp, kind of going, we're over here.
Hey,
come
check us
come
out.
visit, come hang out.
Yeah.
And to have the train be able to stop right there, right? You take fly into International, hop on the train, walk, and you can stay at any of the hotels, patron any of the restaurants, etc. You could even stay in Salt Lake City and still come up and back and be, make it a quick journey and easy and efficient. So,
but even better and ideally, if we have a Metals Plaza in our downtown, and so that all the events are happening.
Yeah.
Hopefully with curling at Weber State.
Yep.
And with the events at Snow Basin, this could be a great place to keep that energy and that momentum up here, reduce congestion in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Right. And truly make sure this is a multi-community games that are supporting all the events. But just this week on Tuesday, City Council approved a $5 million appropriation, which is part of an offer for a partnership with Weber County to purchase the old Kiesel jail behind the municipal building here. And the idea there being we would purchase the old and outdated and past its life facility, tear it down and make that a part of our downtown plaza, right? And in time for the Olympics, we could redesign our entire downtown plaza to be what we want it to be in the long term for continue to host events and farmers markets and concerts, etc., but also to potentially be a Metals Plaza. So imagine, if you will, coming from so you can fly into Salt Lake International, or by that time we'll have an international function at our airport like we did last time. But let's say you're coming from Salt Lake, double track UTA, twice as fast, get off at the Union Station, walk through the grand lobby of the Union Station, walk straight out 25th Street. 25th Street is kind of locked down for events and all the celebrations. All of our different bars and clubs and everything could be different countries and their
themes, and
kind of their theme and their home base, right? And you could walk all the way down 25th Street right into our amphitheater and plaza area for Metals Plaza.
Yeah.
Concerts and entertainment, and that could be going on for
right,
just like the marathon finish.
We'll test it out a couple years before when
exactly.
Make sure it works.
That'll be our test event for.
Yeah, I like it. We'll do our
for
test
the Metals
event
Plaza.
the Metals Plaza. That's perfect.
But that's our vision for our experience for the Olympics. And it wouldn't be. It takes so many different players. I can't do that for the city without help from the county.
Yeah.
Right, and help from our state legislators and partners there. But this is going to require federal support as well, because it's not just Utah or Salt Lake City hosting the games.
Yeah.
Or with Ogden's help, it's the United States of America that's hosting the games, right?
Yes.
And it's going to take that level of engagement and partnership. And we've already met with our entire delegation about that, and we're all kind of working toward that end, right?
That's great.
So
big improvement. That's a big project. It sounds like.
It's a big project, but again, those are things that we want to do for ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to have the Olympics coming, because we're not building it for the Olympics, we're building it for us, right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of significance it's going to take for us to do those sort of moves, right?
Yeah.
But what about, if we're talking about legacy, you sort of steward a lot of that legacy now. What do you hope to see for our legacy for the next games, after the next games, I should say?
Well, I do hope that we have that same volunteer experience and that same ability to contribute to the games in a way that all the athletes and all the countries that come experience not just the service that's going to be provided, but just the warm welcoming, the energy, the positivity that Ogden has to offer. And it's exciting to see big events like that come together with all those volunteers. And I see it being just kind of an additional sort of boost to our volunteerism spirit in the community. It's been really evident for even before the original the 2002 Olympics, but now it's so many places in our community that you see people coming together to help put together events and help organizations provide needs for services and things. So I really hope it just becomes another sort of fuel to that fire of sorts to continue embracing the world to come here. And I think our ability to host world-class events is here, and we have it. So proving an additional time that we can host not just a world-class event, but the Olympics. There's world events, and then there's the Olympics, and it's a whole nother level. And I think if we not if, but when we prove to the world that we can host that kind of event to the level that we do, I think you're going to see return opportunities coming back, and we'll see, annual type events that are going to become staples here in the community beyond just the marathon, other things that are already kind of being talked about and in play. I think you'll see those things become the norm. It'll become something that happens, more often, and not so much that it's a burden to the community as much as it is a balance of, finding the number of events and the types and styles of events that make sense for the community. And we'll be able to build on that and have a really incredible schedule of exciting things to do in addition to what we already have.
Yeah. Well, admittedly, there was a time that some of these events were burdensome.
Sure.
But we were doing more frequent kind of lock down the roads and neighborhoods and stuff. That it's a lot less frequent now. And now we're at a point where it's just really a byproduct of all of the success that we've built together as a community, that we're hosting events that are really beneficial to the city, but they don't gridlock our city as much or as frequently.
Yeah.
All those on-mountain events don't have that kind of an impact, right? And the way we're envisioning transportation being another legacy is these generational transportation and infrastructure investments that we can't do by ourselves because we're not a wealthy city.
Right.
Would be, coming in off that front runner, going through the grand lobby of the Union Station. You could also jump onto the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transit, which is again another legacy investment in infrastructure and transportation. That goes directly to Weber State.
Mm-hmm.
Weber State, if they're hosting the curling, that's immediately accessible without having to have parking and traffic logjam in our city, although there will be that too.
Yeah, there'll be some of that.
Right, but that's going to be a huge piece of building on the investments made because of the last games, right? So that's another part of the legacy. But what about, in addition to the volunteering, we've talked a lot about how do we build a legacy of sport and spirit of competition as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, again, is that the success of the Olympics comes through. We're already proving through other big events that we can handle the logistics and we can handle the support for them. So as those parts and pieces come together with transportation and parking and a space to celebrate the awards plaza and the medals plaza, that type of thing, I really do think you'll see a broader palette of opportunities coming for events and things that don't have the impacts that we used to have, just like you mentioned, right? Like it is tough to shut down the roads. The marathon, for instance, for the day, it's a little bit burdensome for some folks that happen to live on the roads that we close down for the morning. We try to be as minimally impactful as possible, but the reality is we need parts closed down and we need sections available for that. And so as you couple that with parking and all those other things, it becomes problematic versus a positive thing. So those improvements that you guys are pursuing will hopefully alleviate that and, again, just create a broader opportunity for more things to come here, be here, and not negatively impact our community, but positively impact through, economic injections as well as, job opportunities and other things that will come to the table. So
you used the P word, parking, but those are like the little building block pieces that are really important now, but especially important in the future. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm really popular for that one. But
I like how you call it the P word.
It's kind of like the G word.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention that one. Exactly. I will if you want.
No, that's all right. No, but I wanted to kind of wrap up with the very first episode of the Ogden Way was with Billy Schiffenauer, a friend of mine. Okay. Do you know Billy?
I don't think so.
So Billy is a silver medal winner bobsledder from the 2002 Olympics.
I met Billy briefly at the last Olympic planning meeting that we had.
Oh, there you go.
He was there.
And so what he and I talked about, because he grew up here in Ogden. Mm-hmm. He spent especially his early years, he was kind of in the streets in downtown Ogden, and he went to Roy and moved around quite a bit in his youth, but mostly here in Ogden, considers Ogden home. And he is living proof that we have Olympians in our city, right? They're in our streets or in our schools, in our neighborhoods somewhere. Yep. And we talked about setting one goal to find one Olympian by 2034, whether it's summer. I mean, just find an Olympian across any sport. And if you set that one goal, you can create all of the strategies and the plans and the programs and access for everybody across socioeconomics to really develop themselves athletically and competitively. Yeah. And to one day hopefully find an Olympian in our city again, right?
It'd be amazing.
That would be an amazing legacy piece for us moving forward too. So we'd have the volunteerism, the economic, the events and tourism, the infrastructure, the history restored, etc. Right? And then obviously the impact during the games, and then after the TV exposure. But then what about that spirit of competition and personal development, youth development that could come with having that more culture and a system, an ecosystem of sport for kids?
Definitely, right. Improvements at the ice sheet, for instance, and at Snow Basin and those couple of venues, and even the transportation logistics that will make it easier to host camps for youth and host not just youth, but all the way up through the collegiate level and the the Division I type things and that stuff. It's going to be real interesting to see what things start to come together and culminate for use of the facilities that come together during the Olympics between now and then. And I'm confident there's at least one Olympian either in our community right now ready to be there in 2034, or that will be coming here to engage in the things that are happening and seeing the excitement.
We might actually already have the Olympian here, and we may employ right here in Ogden City her parents.
Right.
So more on that later. But
that's cool.
So before we wrap, are you guys taking registrations for next year's marathon already?
Not yet.
How about the training? So not the training series yet.
The training series, we're going to be opening first or second week of September. We haven't targeted an exact date, but first week of September. So we've figured out just kind of modifying a few things to make sure we have everything in place and ready, so that when we turn the switch on, it works seamless. All the way from the event day experience, we want to make sure that the registration portion and all that stuff is also seamless. So we're danger close, but it'll be September when that opens up, and we sold out earlier last year, or for 25 than we did the year before, and we anticipate that happening again this year. This is the 25th anniversary coming up for the marathon in 2026. So it's going to be really exciting. We've got a few tweaks to the race that we think will be nice little additions, and a good nod to the legacy of it being around for 25 years and growing to where it has today. So watch for September marathon opening registration.
Okay, and you're always accepting registrations to be a volunteer, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, if you just go to getoutandlive.org, there's a volunteer tab, and we would love to have you come in and help us out. We have everything from our summer camps with kids to the marathon big day and all the other things that we do.
Getoutandlive.org?
Getoutandlive.org.
Okay, there's our call to action.
That's the one.
If you haven't done so already, go to getoutandlive.org, go to the volunteer tab, and sign up to be a volunteer. You can volunteer for community events now, but that'll get you in position to volunteer for test events around the curling, World Cup curling, but also prepare you and get you in the pipeline for volunteering in the future for the Olympics, right?
Absolutely.
And become a part of the Olympic legacy.
Exciting.
Troy Callantine, thanks for having us, or thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for everything that you do for us too.
Of course.
Okay, that's a wrap. That's the Ogden Way podcast. I'm Ogden Mayor Ben Nadolski. This is Goal Foundation Executive Director Troy Callantine. That's another episode. Get out there, get active, and get involved, right?
Yep.
All right, thanks.